What is Inside Edition? It's this. And this. And this. And also this. It's sometimes this. It's never this. But it always brings you more to the story. And now it's always available. Inside Edition streaming.
Watch closely as this dog seems to disappear. It's probably some trick of the light and not a ghostly visitation. Probably.
On a busy stretch in Brooklyn's Williamsburg neighborhood sits a unique storefront, a comic book shop called Desert Island. Its founder, Gabe Fowler, tells Inside Edition Digital,
it's a place that is intended to champion unknown artists and give them a place to sell their work. Artists can come directly into Desert Island and offer their work for sale with no sort of barrier. And that's probably the most beautiful thing about the shop.
Desert Island is so great. It's so fun. It's so cute. They have stuff for every age and every sensibility and sense of humor. They should stay.
But staying may not be an option, as Fowler recently learned. For more, click below.
A 14-year-old boy was spotted floating on a piece of a broken fence in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. He was lifted out of the floodwaters and brought onto a rescue boat with the help of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies. A horseback rider is missing. This is 27-year-old Megan Rounds from Montana. She was last seen on horseback on Friday, October 4th around 2 in the afternoon in Helena. Her horse and her phone in a saddlebag were found the next day. Rescue groups are now focusing their search near the Missouri River.
3 children and the fugitive who allegedly kidnapped them were spotted for the first time since 2021. There has been a nationwide search for Jada, Maverick, and Ember, siblings who were last seen with their father, Tom Phillips. Teenagers who were hunting saw the children following their father through bushland on October 3rd. This video is the first proof that the children, now aged 8, 9, and 11, are still alive. There is an $80,000 reward for information that helps them find Jada, Maverick, and Ember. Police also say immunity against prosecution will be considered for anyone who has committed an offense in assisting Tom Phillips if they provide information or evidence which leads to the location and safe return of the children.
It's the moment a child and a puppy would meet and become best friends.
What are you gonna name her?
Zoe.
Oh.
Anna Esther was just a playful kid living in Florida when she started to experience extreme stomach pain. Tests would reveal a mass that turned out to be stage 4 cancer. Anna has been getting weekly treatments at Broward Health Medical Center, and every 2 weeks she's admitted to the hospital for more aggressive care. The Make-A-Wish Foundation doesn't want her to continue her journey alone. They donated a Maltese puppy to brighten Anna's spirit on tough days.
And now when I go home, I gotta buy a lot of things for her.
Oh.
And Zoe is already giving Anna a lot to look forward to.
Is this pup too cute to be a killer? Romeo's Halloween costume suggests otherwise. But Romeo is the name of a lover, not a fighter. That's why the internet is so conflicted over this video of the French bulldog dressed as a terrifying film character. Romeo's human, Vanessa Chang, says she loved the costume when she saw it and had to have it. Halloween is extra special to her because it happens to be her birthday. While most people who came across Romeo on social media loved the costume, others were not happy seeing him dressed up as a villain. Romeo doesn't seem to be freaked out by his costume, even though the same can't be said for some humans.
I got him. Talk about a great catch. John DeBacker from Long Island Cat Kitten Rescue used skill, patience, a can of cat food, and great reflexes to help a kitten in need.
Come here, baby. Nothing to grip onto. Do you guys have a taller ladder? No. Like a 32-foot ladder? A 32-foot? Oh, this is a 20-foot.
After a few more minutes, the cat dropped right into place.
Come on, guys. Come on, baby. I got him. Hey, baby. I got you. I got you.
Author Jen Mann shared her story about getting scammed after being invited on a well-known podcast.
He told me that we had to do it on Facebook Live. And he said, well, we need to do a tech check. And again, very standard. Click this, click that, unclick this, add this, take your husband off as admin because, there can only be one admin. 15 minutes later, my husband comes home from work and he's like, what did you do? I felt completely stupid. I mean, as soon as I figured out what I'd done, I burst into tears and sat there in my living room on the floor, just wailing. Within an hour, he'd already changed the name on one of the pages and blocked me from it and started posting spam crap that, you get paid by the click kind of thing. All the work that I've done over the last 13 years is just in 5 minutes.
For more of Jen's story, click below or go to InsideEdition.com.
I've never done my makeup to look like a celebrity, but I'm inspired today by Mudang. So we're gonna do her glowy, blushy look.
California-based content creator and business owner Rachel Celine says she and her friends de-stress from their busy lives by sharing Mudang videos.
So we have a little Mudang meme group chat where we're sharing, and we talked about getting Mudang tattoos as a joke, but now it feels serious. So that might be the next thing, but it's just I don't know, she just brings so much joy. It's so cute. It's fun, and everyone loves her.
Rachel has type 1 diabetes.
I was diagnosed when I was 12 years old.
Her business, Chronically Illest, focuses on living proudly with chronic diseases. Mudang just might feature on some new products.
We talked about making Mudang stickers to medical device stickers.
These homeowners are shocked when a contractor shows up at their house with a huge Confederate flag flying on the back of his pickup truck. Allison and Zeke Brown of Atlanta went online and hired the contractor to repair their golf cart. But the moment they saw the flag, that was it.
We control where this family dollar goes, and it will not go to someone who is promoting such hate.
Hi. You know what? I do apologize. I know you've come from a very long way, but we're going to use someone else.
She's upset with the flag.
No, I'm beyond upset with the flag. But no, I cannot pay you for your services. Thank you. Have a good day.
What I did not want to do is promote this angry black female narrative that's already out there. So I tried my very best to find some place in my heart to just kindly say, I'm not going to spend my money with you. Can you please leave?
It's the hilarious yet heartwarming video of a 17-year-old greeting his younger brother in costume as he gets off the school bus. Back in 2019, Noah would surprise Max, who was 12 and in the 7th grade at the time, with a different getup every day outside of their Louisiana home. 5 years later, here they are, all grown up.
We are known on social media and the internet as the Bus Brothers.
Today, Max is a high school senior himself.
Yes, ma'am. I've just been enjoying basketball and just growing up.
As for Noah, little did he know he'd finish his senior year from home.
I was a COVID graduate, so we had, to kind of maneuver through that.
For more of what they've been up to, click below or go to InsideEdition.com.
The Kreischer Mansion has been designated a landmark by New York City, which means it can't be torn down. During his time there, Rispoli says he's seen and heard many things he can't explain.
Actually, one incident, we were actually right here on the porch unloading chairs one night, about 12:30 at night, and we actually had a Swan come on the radio. My assistant was here with me, we were unloading chairs, and she said, Rick, the radio went on in the car. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden she said, here's my keys. We've caught orbs. We've actually caught orbs right here on the porch. Took 5 shots. The orbs moved in 5 different positions. There was 4 orbs moving straight right, kind of like in a circle. From one side of this door, right here, straight down to the bottom to the other side. We've caught pictures of full bodies looking out the windows and full faces looking out the windows at us.
Here's what we do. So we pick up Ashton. I fold his right arm like this, and then his left arm in front, and then very gently hold his arms like this, hold his little bottom, and gently rock them up and down.
Dr. Robert Hamilton has been a pediatrician for over 30 years, and he's found a way to calm a crying infant with just a simple shake of the booty.
Just like that.
Dr. Hamilton tells Inside Edition that he created the video on YouTube to show parents everywhere how they can get a little peace and quiet by implementing the hold. The babies immediately stop crying.
I'm gently shaking him back and forth. We rock him up and down very gently. Sometimes we stir him to the left and we stir him to the right.
The doctor says this is a great way for parents to get their babies to quiet down.
You can see that he comforts pretty quickly, really. This is a good baby.
Has Halloween finally gone too far? Check out this gruesome crime scene in New Jersey. You can see how someone might mistake this for a real accident. There's a body on the ground here. There's what appears to be crime scene tape, but it's actually zombie crossing tape. And then here we have a car smashed against a tree with a body pinned against it. This display in Tennessee actually had people thinking it was real and led to a 911 call.
There's a guy laying up there in his driveway next to the house. There's 2 big bloody handprints on the side of the house. It looks to me like he's dead.
This display depicts hanging babies, and this one shows a woman who has been knifed to death.
It's very disturbing.
What do you think of the brouhaha over this decoration? You think it's in poor taste, or is it just...
Well, if you didn't know, and especially some of the older people may think it's, real.
In January 1962 is when our most famous ghost sighting took place here.
It's been a tradition at the mansion that we do school tours here. Back in the early 60s, the school kids, teachers, chaperones, they're outside in the front, running around, playing, burning off some energy. And this woman in full period clothes comes out onto this balcony and she says to them, "Be quiet or go home." They think she's like a reenactor or a tour guide dressed up from the period. The curator finally gets her. She apologizes and says, "Look, I had a problem with the train. Let's go ahead and start the tour." And as they're going to the second floor, they see this grand portrait of Eliza Jamel. And they said, "Hey, that's the lady that told us to be quiet. Where is she? How is she part of the tour?" The curator looks at all of them and says, "Guys, that's Eliza Jamel. She's been dead for almost 100 years.
Now watch as a youth football game is thrown into chaos.
Oh my God!
That's a massive dust devil forming at a playing field in Rancho Cucamonga, California, sending chairs, tents, and debris flying as spectators take cover. Families who were there say the winds were so strong it felt like a tornado.
21-year-old fearless store clerk Zara Adel fended off an armed robber twice her size. She was working at her parents' discount tobacco zone store in Lexington, Kentucky, when a hooded man entered with a gun and demanded cash. As he starts taking cash from the register, she grabs the gun and a scuffle ensues and actually shoots the robber in the shoulder. He still ends up trying to walk away with the cash register, but Zara did not give in and protected the family business. She only suffered a few minor injuries during the incident and put up an impressive fight. Ultimately, he got away, but not with any of the business's money.
Holy moly, we've got a gator in our garage.
Alligators are stalking flooded neighborhoods in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton.
That is a big one.
Tampa resident Jen Messer discovered this 5-foot-long gator in her garage, which doubles as the family gym.
He made a couple rounds throughout the gym. He hopped on my treadmill for a little bit.
How scary was that?
You know, I'm just very grateful the alligator wasn't hungry, because I think it could have been a totally different story.
This grandpa is about to get a special of the day that is not on the menu. It's his grandson who flew 800 miles to surprise him at a local restaurant in Florida. Hugs and tears of joy. Gotta be the best lunch ever.
Powerful stories. Impactful investigations.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah. What?
And a little bit of fun.
Your stairs in the pool.
on Inside Edition streaming.
Halloween isn't just for humans, as these pumpkin-munching tortoises at the Memphis Zoo showed. Across the pond, monkeys at the UK's Whipsnade Zoo also got into the act. Or are those humans in really convincing monkey costumes?
It was dark. Like, I don't even think I looked at what it was attached to, but I didn't even think, like, well, what's it matter? Like, if it falls, it falls. Like, it was so close to the ground, but it's what falls on you.
Erin Field warns against hammocks after an accident involving one left her quadriplegic.
The last night we were there, we went up there to sit on the hammock. I sat down, and then Jack sat next to me, and that's when the chimney collapsed on top of me.
Tonight, we're learning that the young woman who was injured in a chimney accident in the North End may not walk again.
I don't remember it falling or anything, but I do remember, like, my neck hurting. And I remember just waking up to, like, my brother and Jack. And they were just, like, asking me to, like, straighten my legs out and stuff. And I was like, they are straightened out, but they weren't.
For more on Erin's story, click below or visit InsideEdition.com.
Have you seen this teddy bear? A 9-year-old boy is missing his favorite stuffed animal named Teddy. Somehow, Teddy went AWOL near where the family lives in Denver, Colorado.
He's had it since he was a baby, so it's a special item for him.
Heather Overton is the little boy's aunt. She says they've looked everywhere for it, even posting a plea on TikTok. But so far, no luck.
Teddy is a teddy bear. You can tell he's been very loved. He has a brown nose, kind of some white patches in there because he's been so used. His brown fur is kind of matted at this point because he's been so clung onto for so long. And he doesn't quite have like that formed stuffing. It's more of a kind of a loose stuffing at this point.
The boy's mom is offering a $200 reward for anyone who finds the stuffed friend.
This man is lucky to be alive, and he can thank his dog Gator. 84-year-old Keith Johnson fell and couldn't get up during a morning walk.
She came and lay down really close to me, and I cuddled with her and asked her, please to go get some help.
What happened next is like something out of a Lassie movie. Gator knew that her owner was in danger and ran down to the main road looking for help. Then she laid down smack in the middle of the road.
I got out of my truck. She stood up, looked at me, looked back at the driveway, and then looked at me kind of as if like a hey, come with me.
Deputy Colton Wright ran right behind Gator. Lo and behold, there was the old guy, stricken, unable to get up with a broken hip.
Boy, you got a pretty good dog, I'll tell you that.
Your dog's a hero today, man.
And she led you right back up here.
She led me right to you.
I walk into this makeshift type room where there's a massage table, and then the door shuts behind me and it's locked.
Jose Alfaro shares how he became a survivor of human trafficking.
I grew up in a very small, conservative and rural town called Navasota in Texas. I wasn't as masculine as the other boys in school, and I really, really struggled with that because all I knew was that I was trying to be myself. I grew up incredibly insecure, really feeling like I wasn't good enough. I also was experiencing bullying in school because of my effeminate behavior.
For more of Jose's story, click below.
I was shocked. Like, I knew something was wrong, but I did not think it was going to be cancer.
Shay Wright in Tanner Martin's love story has been drastically altered following a terminal cancer diagnosis.
And he was like, it's spread to your liver, it's stage 4. And that was a shock.
My doctors are like, your cancer is spread so much, this is most likely what's going to kill you.
Sharing your grief and having people listen to it is extremely healing. And finding people in a situation similar to yours, it has at least been very helpful for me.
For more on Shay and Tanner's story, click below or visit InsideEdition.com.
Weather satellites captured lightning flashes in the eye wall of Hurricane Milton in the Gulf of Mexico. The powerful storm is expected to hit Florida's Gulf Coast later this week. Jimmy Carter reached another milestone this week as the former president turned 100 years old. Carter is the oldest living president and also the only U.S. president to reach the century mark. Carter's one-time workplace, that'd be the White House, celebrated his birthday with a lawn display.
Look closely. What's that at the very top of that tree? That's no bird, it's a kid. Just look at him hanging out at the tippy top like a little Tarzan. People in the park couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were all set for movie night at a neighborhood park in Seattle. Dozens of families had gathered to watch Shrek.
Take a look at me.
But it turned out to be a double feature starring little Tarzan. The height of the pine tree was about 50 feet, and this kid climbed all the way to the top. The outdoor moviegoers were shocked, wondering where the heck were the boys' parents. This woman and her family were relaxing on a blanket.
And then all of a sudden they asked if someone was missing their kid because there was a kid that had climbed to the top of this tree, which was terrifying to watch.
She says he came down all on his own and continued playing like nothing had ever happened.
This pizza man is delivering something special, kindness and compassion. He's helping a 90-year-old grandmother into her living room after he found her outside where she'd fallen and couldn't get up.
I'm just glad you're okay. Do you want me to get you any water or anything?
Annie Goshen was in her garden in Tampa, Florida, cutting flowers when she tripped over a rock and fell. As luck would have it, the pizza guy had just made a delivery in her neighborhood. He saw her sprawled on the ground and came to her rescue.
It literally felt like I saw my own grandmother on the floor.
29-year-old Joey Herrera is the Good Samaritan, and you can see how grateful Annie Goshen is. He called 911.
How you feeling?
I'm okay.
The paramedics notified Mrs. Goshen's daughters to let them know what had happened, and their question?
Well, who called 911? And it was the pizza guy.
Do you think that if Joey hadn't been there and helped, do you think that your mom could have died?
Yes. Oh, yes. No doubt about it.
Well, it was huge. It was perhaps the biggest news the state of Arkansas has ever had, perhaps other than Bill Clinton being elected president. But this happened right after he took office. So it was big.
In his new book, A Harvest of Innocence, Dan Stidham chronicles one of the most notorious criminal cases of the 20th century, the West Memphis Three. Stidham represented Jesse Miskelly, one of the three teens who were falsely accused of killing 3 8-year-old boys in West Memphis, Arkansas in 1993.
The pressure that was being exerted on the state of Arkansas was tremendous. It was worldwide. They wanted this to go away.
For more, click on the link below or go to InsideEdition.com.
I found he's in a pool 2 houses south, backyard.
The parents of a 3-year-old boy say they're grateful for the police officer that saved their child from drowning. Reports say a guest did not close the latch on the family's door while the parents were preparing a Sunday brunch. Their little boy, Aziel, who has autism, let himself out. An officer heard a cry from a neighbor's backyard and ran to investigate.
I found he's in a pool 2 houses south, backyard.
He found Aziel floating on his back.
Come here, buddy. Hey.
According to the Autism Society of Florida, kids with autism spectrum disorder are 160 times more likely to experience non-fatal and fatal drowning than their neurotypical peers.
He's breathing and conscious.
The neighbor's fence was open, giving the child access to the pool. Aziel's family says the fence is now closed, and they are looking at getting a fence of their own.
Hi, I'm Huber Nerve. This is Inside Edition.
For Halloween, 8-year-old Danny Stidham is going as yours truly. She's one of Inside Edition's biggest fans.
I watch you every single day.
Just look at Danny's reaction when she found out she was going to be on today's program.
Seriously? I'm going to be on the show?
When your daughter said, I want to be Deborah for Halloween, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
I thought it would be a perfect fit for her because she does every night at 7:30 when it airs at our home. She's got to have Inside Edition on.
Tell me about having a little girl that is obviously so interested in what's going on in the world today.
Yeah, she asks a lot of questions.
So we get, we talk about all the stories.
Until now, Danny's dressed up in more traditional costumes, but this year required a little creativity and a homemade microphone.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Miracle. This is Inside Edition.
Hey there, pal.
When you wish upon a star, sometimes dreams do come true. This 21-year-old may be just as tall as Mickey Mouse himself, but that didn't stop him from crying when they met at Disney World. Basilio Santano from Brazil lost his sight after developing Devick's disease, which is similar to multiple sclerosis.
Wow! All the way from Brazil?
Yeah.
Cool! My friends have been teaching me some Portuguese.
Since Basilio couldn't see Mickey with his eyes, he used his hands. Watch as he touches Mickey's cheeks, then nose and ears. While you can't see Basilio's face, you can tell how happy he was at this very moment. Even his mother was grateful for the special meet and greet. Now that's the magic in Disney.
In 2000, Kevin Hines tried to end his life by jumping off of San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. He was 19. He now shares his survival story with anyone who will listen.
I'm happy. I'm content. I'm at peace. I have closure from the Golden Gate Bridge, which is why I can have it behind me here, as you see it. I have closure from that day, and I still struggle on a regular basis, but that's okay. I get to struggle because I'm alive to feel it, and I can appreciate it. I hold gratitude inside my vein.
Help is available. For the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, dial 988.
Oh my God.
A woman gets quite a surprise driving down her street.
What the hell?
No, it's not Michael Myers, the serial killer from the Halloween movies, but Sabrina Zimmerman immediately recognized the goofball behind the mask. It was her husband.
Seriously, get home or I'm gonna have you committed.
And here he is, unmasked.
He always scared me when I was a kid. Freddy Krueger scared me, but Michael Myers, I always thought he was the creepiest.
Humans aren't the only species needing a little help after Hurricane Milton. This pig, nicknamed Millie, was brought to safety by rescue crews. And Millie wasn't shy, letting people know how she felt.
When new mom Laura first had her daughter Joey, she couldn't stop oogling over her beautiful baby. So instead of sleeping when her baby slept, as many advised, she had photo shoots. Now her Instagram is full of hilarious pop culture references, and there's one for everyone. Music lovers, foodies, athletes, movie critics, and even Pokemon Go players. She says the most popular is this one, inspired by the character 11 from the show Stranger Things. Most of the photos are taken while Joey is sleeping, but she occasionally wakes up mid-shot.
Oh my gosh. It's the mad rush to buy Target's limited edition Wicked Stanley Cups.
I was not expecting it to be like a stampede.
Colleen Thomas went with her mom, 8-year-old daughter, and niece to a Target in St. Louis, Missouri, getting in line at 6 a.m. and waiting for the store to open at 8.
Right here.
It was the behavior of people in line behind her that upset her.
There was cursing, there was like shoving, people were grabbing things out of carts, and I was like, what is happening?
To be fair, people have been going crazy over Stanley's at Target's mask.
Sure.
So you did know that.
I did. Absolutely, I knew it, which is why I got there as early as I did.
For more, click below.
What is Inside Edition? It's this. And this. And this. And also this. It's sometimes this. It's never this. But it always brings you more to the story. And now it's always available. Inside Edition streaming.
Who would do such a thing? A mean-spirited man smashes a family's Halloween pumpkin display right on their front porch and in broad daylight. He runs off, leaving a mess of pulverized pumpkins. The heartless prank has left these two brothers devastated. Unfortunately, pumpkin smashing pranks have become an annual event in this neighborhood of Lawrence, Kansas. It's so bad, many families have stopped decorating for Halloween. Chris Leisler bought a security camera after his family's Halloween decorations were stolen last year. But he never expected his camera to catch this pumpkin-smashing knucklehead in the act.
We love Halloween. We try to make a big deal of it every year, and it's hard because these people, for no good reason, just want to spoil it for us.
A mom runs out the door into a neighbor's house for help. Stephanie George was carrying her 7-year-old son who was choking on a piece of meat. The boy had turned blue. She turns him over and pats his back, then starts calling 911 but changes course.
His body started to go limp. Like too much was happening. That in my mind, I'm like, the EMS is not going to get here on time. Like we're already at a critical point. Like he's already limp and blue.
That's when she ran across the street to a neighbor for help.
And immediately he just picked him up and put him over his knee, and he gave him like 2 good pats on the back, and the piece flew out.
For more on this story, click below or go to insideedition.com.
Nasıl gerektiğini açıkladılar. Deprem oluyor değerli seyirciler. Deprem.
A powerful 5.9 magnitude earthquake hit eastern Turkey this week, forcing this newsreader to take cover under her desk. No injuries have been reported.
He's surrounded by a pack of wolves. It looks like a terrifying nightmare come true. Just a pane of glass separates the guy inside the house from the predators. Imagine seeing this outside your window. The extraordinary video was taken by professional photographer Mitchie Jules. And get this, being surrounded on all sides by wolves did not frighten the New Jersey resident at all. He shot the video while participating in an immersive animal experience at a wildlife park in Quebec.
When I got up to see, I see the whole pack coming in, and they was just going crazy. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I had a treat, a little chicken meat, and I threw it, and they're like, oh, this guy's cool, we gonna stick around. So they just called more wolves to come in.
Raccoon 911. This was the crazy scene as a horde of raccoons swarmed over a backyard. The frantic homeowner called for help.
I have anywhere from 50 to 100 raccoons. I need an officer. I need somebody to see these things.
She tells 911 that she's hiding in her car.
I'm right in my car. They chased me all the way out through the backyard. They're crawling all over.
She found herself surrounded. The raccoons were getting more aggressive. She got into her car, got out of there, called 911 for help.
Deputy sheriffs believe the woman who lives outside Seattle has been feeding raccoons for decades.
35 years ago, you first started feeding some raccoons, and then when all of a sudden did it explode like this?
6 weeks ago. They're crawling all over.
Who's inside that giant worm costume? It turned heads wiggling on the Halloween red carpet, and look, it even has a creepy face. Give up? It's TV personality Heidi Klum. Her 18-year-old daughter, Lenny, in a latex Catwoman suit, wasn't afraid to kiss Mommy Worm.
Sometimes you have to stand your ground, and sometimes a headbutt is in order. A Michigan State police officer was rammed by a loose sheep that didn't want to be corralled. Officials say the sheep rammed both the human and the vehicle before calming down enough to be taken into custody.
Oh, look who's hiding in the sofa.
Bedfordshire police say officers were executing a warrant in what they thought was an empty property, except for a friendly dog. But a lumpy couch needed a closer inspection.
We're trying to go this way. Oh no, yeah, I'll print it my way, yeah.
Officers moved the sectional and lifted one portion to discover something unexpected inside. The suspect.
Oh, look who's hiding in the sofa. Out you come.
We've got one here, hiding under the sofa.
Police say the suspect was arrested and got to experience the comfort of a jail cell bed.
Oh, look who's hiding in the sofa.
We are currently in our garage trapped.
That's his wife screaming in the background. Dan and Michelle are caught in a pickle. They're trapped inside their garage.
Right there. Close it, close it, close it.
What the heck is that?
Close it, close it.
It's a swan. That's right, the bird beloved for its grace and majestic bearing. Not this guy.
What do we do?
Michelle and Dan say the belligerent bird is no stranger in their Nashville neighborhood.
I would try to go out there and shoo it away, and it just kind of nods at me like, you know, it doesn't care about me at all.
No, the swan is not shy.
After about 15 minutes, they reached out to a neighbor for help, and he unlocked the front door.
He comes over, and he opens the door. He thought we were pranking him, and he's like, "This is the weirdest call I've ever had in my life."
She's checking out the Halloween decorations. Looks cool. Suddenly... Now that's a gotcha.
The UK government believes Vladimir Putin personally authorized the 2018 poisonings of several people in the city of Salsbury. The weapon was Novichok, a powerful nerve agent developed in Russia. It's suspected that the target was Sergei Skripal, a former Russian intelligence officer. Now an inquiry on the poisonings has been opened. To learn more about the attack and the way Vladimir Putin is said to deal with people who displease him, click below or go to InsideEdition.com.
When a visitor seems to appear out of thin air, a resident's reliable Ring doorbell was sure to alert her. But by the time she answers the door, the mysterious guest has already made his way inside and taken her seat, and helped himself to her drink. He disappears just as quickly as he appears, leaving the woman and the rest of us confused. Is this proof of life after death, or a well-played Halloween trick?
Bye-bye, Tropicana. It's the end of an era. Goodbye to the legendary Tropicana Casino and Hotel in Sin City. First one tower, then the other. It imploded this morning, reduced to a pile of rubble on the Las Vegas Strip. And leave it to Vegas to turn it into a spectacle. Before the controlled blast, there were fireworks. And a spectacular light show using 700 drones. Back in 2000, Inside Edition's Stacey Galandi danced with the Tropicana Showgirls. Two former showgirls, twins, were on hand for the bittersweet occasion.
It's really, really sad. There's so many memories. It was like our second home when we first came to town.
And now, bye-bye Tropicana.
What is the Day of the Dead?
So Day of the Dead is a celebration that has been around in Mexico for over 3,000 years. It's an opportunity for peoples of Central Mexico, more than any other place in the world, to invite their deceased loved ones to partake in a celebration, more specifically a dinner party. Peoples of Central Mexico, they create altar pieces, and in those altar pieces they offer food. And it's in the idea that for instance, somebody that might have died a year ago, they're gonna come in and have dinner with you. So more than anything, it's a party and a celebration for those that have departed.
For more, click below or go to InsideEdition.com.
So what is Diwali? Well, let me explain. Diwali or Deepavali is the Hindu festival of light, and it's celebrated on the night of the new moon preceding the Hindu month of Kartika. Now, because it is a lunar holiday, the date changes. It ranges from late October to mid-November, and it is the largest celebration in India, and generally it signifies victory of good over evil, of knowledge over ignorance, and hope over despair.
Diwali is a joyous festival. Some might even consider it the kind of biggest and grandest holiday in the very long list of holidays that make up the Hindu calendar.
For more, click below or go to InsideEdition.com.
A beanhole supper is just what it sounds like.
We dig a hole in the ground and we have a big bonfire in the hole to build up a bed of coals. And then during the evening of the night before the dinner, we lower bean pots in to the hot coals and let it sit all night and cook. It is probably the best baked beans you'll ever have. And you get a little charcoal flavor in there, and sometimes you get a little charcoal in there too.
Some lucky tourists in China's Shaanxi province were treated to a rare sight, a giant panda in the wild. The panda was spotted by the side of a road before it jiggled off into the woods.
It's not even Halloween yet, and this Florida woman is already over it. With the help of a scarecrow, James was able to nail scaring his wife, Mandy.
Really?
Watch your back, James. We have a feeling she's gonna get you back.
Really?
A Ring camera captures an elderly gentleman struggling as he makes a DoorDash delivery.
And honestly, it made me super sad. I knew if that was my grandpa, I wouldn't want to see him working.
21-year-old Annabelle Stevens posted the video on social media and says she never expected the response. Annabelle says she felt so sorry for the guy she gave him a generous $30 tip on a $21 order, but that was only the beginning.
So that's kind of why I started the GoFundMe also.
Annabelle has raised more than $74,000 for him. His name is Kerry Judd. He's 71 and actually works 2 jobs in Idaho. In addition to making DoorDash food deliveries, he's a security guard. But he's also finding the generosity of Americans is changing his life.
Super, super sweet man.
A woman spent 7 hours stuck between a rock and her cell phone. Australia's New South Wales Ambulance Corps shared pictures of a very long rescue. A hiker slipped in a 9-foot crevice while attempting to retrieve her phone. She was stuck upside down. Multiple authorities worked together to move a 1,100-pound boulder and pull the hiker to safety. The lesson here? Sometimes we have to accept loss. While this woman was rescued with only scratches and bruises, she never did get her phone.
At 21, I became a childless widow, and life as I knew it was never going to be the same.
Destiny Klimaszewski is advocating against drunk driving after suffering an unimaginable loss.
We were struck nearly head-on by a drunk driver at 87 miles per hour. She instantly took the life of my almost 15-month-old baby, and 24 hours later would take the life of my high school sweetheart and my husband at the age of 22. I prayed every night, like, God, let me be done. Like, this is the worst pain I've ever experienced. I just pray in my lifetime before I take my last breath that, like, I can see a law was changed, and I know that I did what I could for my kid, my baby, and my husband.
For more information on Destiny's story, click below or visit InsideEdition.com.
Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah. What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
Yeah, I love them.
Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel. Amazing. Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.